Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ATA Tutorials, and today we continue our series on QuickBooks, the number that we were doing in part 1. So those of you who have not yet watched part 1, you can first go back and watch that video so that you can follow up on this question. Now, what we covered in the first part was create the company file, customize the file by setting all these necessary preferences. So today what I want us to do is to enter the opening balances of this question. Because of business continuity, most of the times companies have previous balances from the previous periods which they are carrying forward into the new period. So you notice that the year that we are dealing with here, it is running from 1st January 2025 to actually 31st Jan 2025. So if you also pay attention to this date, they are showing us the closing balances of 2024, which will act as the opening balances of 2025. So these are the opening balances that we are going to enter. These ones from the bank accounts which they had from the previous year, the balances they had up to these capital reserves. So we continue with our question. I open my QuickBooks. This is the home page, how it looks like. So we are going to strictly enter these opening balances of banks. So you see, one is Cairo Bank. It has a balance of 50 million. Then another one is KCB, Kenya Commercial Bank, but its denomination is in Kenyan shillings. So you must pay attention to that. So we quickly enter that. Cairo Bank, it had a balance of 50 million. So how we enter this, you go to the chart of accounts, then you move down. There is a drop down on the account menu. It's where you click, then you move up to new. So when you click on new, they're going to show you the different types of accounts that you can enter. So you click on bank, continue, then you enter the name of the bank. Ours is called Cairo Bank. The denomination is Ugandan shilling. If you have the bank account number in the question, then you can type it here. Then if you have like a Swift code, you can also type it here. So we have an option for entering opening balances. I click there, 123 123. Then the statement ending date, it is usually the starting date of the year. So ours is Jan 2025. Okay, it's Jan 2025. So I move quickly. It is 1st Jan 2025. So I click OK. Then I save and close. Okay. So if you notice in our chart of accounts, if you want to confirm that your account has actually been created, when you check here in the chart of accounts, you're going to notice that we have Cairo Bank with a balance of 50 million. So as we are respecting the accounting equation, that's why you see even on the other side of equity, they have put 50 million. Because remember, the accounting equation is it is assets equal to capital plus liability. Capital, which we also know as equity. So if you check here, we are having bank account as an asset, and then the other side of equity, when we cross on the left side of the equation, we have equity. So that's why we have to keep our accounting equation in check. They automatically create the other account to complete our entry for the accounting equation. Then next is the next bank account is KCB, which is 1 million, but Kenyan shillings, you must pay attention to that in Kenyan shillings. So this is how we are going to enter it. It is the same way. I assume I'm on the home page. So I go to chart of accounts and I click on account. I move up to new, then the type is still bank. So you continue. So I'm calling it KCB, Kenya Commercial Bank. So this is where you have to pay attention. This is Ugandan shillings, so we must change it and make it Kenyan shillings. So you click there and you look for Kenyan shillings. If it takes long, you just search. There it comes. So they're asking me that it is an inactive element because I had set Ugandan shilling as a home currency. So what I have to do is I simply make it active. So I click on make active. So this is why we had to first set the feature for multiple currencies to make it active. So that's why they can allow us now transact using any other currency because we had enabled that feature. So for those of you who did not follow us in part 1, you can first go back and you watch the part 1 of this video, then you're going to come back for part 2. So I save and close. So if I check here in my chart of accounts, you realize that we have forgotten to enter the opening balance. So you have to enter the opening balance, which is Kenyan shilling 1 million. Okay, then the statement ending date, it will always be 1st January. Okay, that is when our year is starting, 1st January. So in the question they have also given us the exchange rate. They're showing us 1 Kenyan shilling is equal to 36 UGX. So you simply don't have to forget. We put our exchange rate, so we press OK. When I save and close, you check now our equity value has increased to 86. We have entered in 1 million here. If you check our KCB account, it has 1 million here, so it has automatically changed it by multiplying 36. So we had previously 50, so when you add 36 million, it gives us 86 million on the side of equity. So that is how we enter opening balances for the bank. Okay, we continue. The next thing is we are having these creditors. Now what we have to note, creditors in QuickBooks, they are referred to as vendors. Okay, that is the another name. So entering opening balances of the creditors, we shall always use what we call the vendor center. So one is Hima Limited, another one is Tororo Limited, another one is Au Cement. So this is what we are going to do in order to enter these vendors. You go back to the home page. This is where we are. So you click on the vendor center. The vendor center is here where you see I'm hovering my cursor. The vendor center is here. So you click on the vendors. Okay. Then here in the top corner, there is also a feature for new vendor. It is sort of a drop down. So you click there and something like that will appear on new vendor. So new vendor, the first one I have is Hima Cement Limited with an opening balance of 3 million. So you come here, say Hima Cement Limited. Its opening balance is 3 million. So the opening, that is as of. So the opening date is 1st Jan. Okay, 1st Jan 2025. The currency, we don't change it. If you have more information, like it has another company name, you can feed all these, the emails, the phone numbers, all those you can fill them here. But for the case of our practice, I simply press OK. So there is this warning that usually comes on the days. Now, because QuickBooks usually uses updated dates, and for me, the question I'm practicing, it is of some previous dates. So they keep on saying that the transaction is more than 90 days in the past. So it is like old. So what you have to press is yes to show that yes, I know what I'm doing. I'm just doing the practice. But then if you are into real practicability of business and applicability, then you will always use the current dates. Okay, so you press yes, and something like this is going to appear. I can enlarge and I look at my list. So if I have more vendors to enter, like you say I have Tororo Cement 7 million, you also go on and click here on new vendor, then add new. So when I click on new, I now add Tororo Cement Limited. So the opening balance is 7 million. So you check here, it's January. Our opening date is January. Then the currency is still Ugandan shillings. I still press OK and say yes and move. Okay, then we have the last one, which is AU Cement Limited, but for it is 0 shillings, 0 Kenyan shillings. So that means we closed the year when actually they were not demanding us. So, but it's also part of our suppliers. So we enter AU Limited as well, but you have to pay attention to the denomination. See, the denomination is in Kenyan shillings. Okay, so I press on new vendor. It's called AU Cement Limited. Then the date is as of 1st Jan. Okay, yeah, 1st Jan 2025. So I change this to Kenyan shillings because it's in Kenya. So you see, when you press Kenyan shillings, this becomes inactive. So I press OK. That is it. So ladies and gentlemen, that is how they enter the creditors, whom we call suppliers or the vendors. In QuickBooks, we use the vendors as a name, so it is the vendor center that you use. Then next, they want us to enter, these are customers. These are customers. One is Maltech Business, had an opening balance of 4.5. So in other books, customers are known as debtors who buy from the business on credit. So we are going to enter these two. These are the only opening balances that we had. So we do the same thing. Now here we shall use the customer center. Yes, customer center. So you click on the customer center, just here where I've clicked. So it's going to open the same way we did for vendors. You click in this drop down, then they ask you new customer. So you click there. So one is called, just check, Maltech Business School 4.5. So I enter that. I say Maltech Business School. The date is the same, the opening date, which is 1st Jan 2025. The opening balance is 4.5. It is 4.5. 1, 2, 3. The currency sign is UGX. So if you have more information about the vendor, you can add about rather this customer, you can add it here. So I press OK. They want me, I say yes. So if I expand here, you're able to see our list. Okay, then we also have Kezimbira 3 million. So Kezimbira, we also click on this drop down, new customer, Kezimbira is 3 million. Then January is here. So everything looks okay. It is UGX. So I press, they want me, I say yes, I continue. So if you want to confirm if your accounts have actually been created, those that you have entered for vendors and customers, you still go to the chart of accounts. So when you click on the chart of accounts, you realize they have created two accounts for you. One is there is accounts payables, but this is in Kenyan shilling. It had zero balance for AU, because if you click there, they're going to show you the details. Then there is another account for you see accounts receivables. Now these are the debtors, because another name for debtors is accounts receivables. If you click there, they show you the details. One is Maltech Business School and Kezimbira with their opening balances, and you see on all those same dates. So when you add the two, it gives you 7.5. So when I escape and go back, I should also be able to see the accounts payable account. Accounts payables, those are like vendors and suppliers. So their accounts have also been opened. So if I double click there, they are showing me the details. One is Hima Cement, another one is Tororo Cement. So that's 3 million and 10 million. So when you add them up, it gives you 3 million, 7 million. When you add, it gives you 10 million. So that is how they enter customers and vendors. What are we left with? Still on the opening balances. Let us check these. There are others. Now these others, if you notice, these are buildings, motor vehicles, loading machines, weighing machines. So these are fixed assets, what we call non-current assets. So these ones are also entered through the chart of accounts. So we are going to do that very fast. So you go to chart of accounts, then you use this account. You go up, new, click there. So it will open. You look for the most appropriate type of account. So if I click on fixed assets, so these are the major purchases like the buildings, land, even the examples that are suggested here. So you click on continue, then you put the name. You have to confirm, you must confirm here the account type if it is fixed asset. So one is buildings, 10 million. So we enter that. Buildings, it's 10, 1 2 3 1 2 3. As of, you put the other start date, which is Jan 2025. Jan 2025. So you press OK. If you have more to enter, use the feature for save and new. If you have entered like the last one, you say save and close. But for us, we still have more fixed assets to enter. So I use the feature for save, then I enter a new one. Now a new one is motor vehicles, 35 million. Okay. So you say motor vehicles. Confirm here it is still under the account type of fixed assets. So I say motor vehicles. It is motor vehicles. It is 35. Okay, 35 million for motor vehicles. 35 million. 35 million for motor vehicles. So you come back here and put the right date, which is the opening date, 1st Jan. Then you press OK, say save and new, because we are entering more. Another one is loading machine, 7.5. Loading machines is how much? Loading machines, it is 7.5, 1 2 3 million. Then still have to put the right date, which is Jan 2025. Click OK, save and new. We put the last one, which is weighing machines, 8.5. So weighing weighing machines. Enter opening balance is 8.5123 as of Jan is here, 1st Jan. Press OK. Then since we are done with all the fixed assets, now I can successfully save and close. Then I go to my chart of accounts to confirm if actually my assets have been created. You see building, they show it's a fixed asset, the money is there, loading machine, weighing machines. So that is how you confirm. Even at this point, you can even check in the balance sheet if actually your things have been added in the balance sheet. You see, if I open my balance sheet, this is what it looks like. They are showing me assets, total assets. You see, mine is still balancing. Liabilities and equity 154,154. So all my assets are there, all my current fixed assets, then also the liabilities that I've already entered. You can be able to see them there. So if I escape and come back here, we are left with these equity items. So let us also enter these opening balances for the equity items. So you see, one is share capital 100 million and retained earnings 45.6. So if I open my QuickBooks now, to enter this, you still use the chart of accounts feature. You move down to account, you go to new, then you look for the most appropriate type of account. So what is the most appropriate type of account here? It is an equity item, because it is where we have all these accounts to do with capital, retained earnings, drawings, etc. So you say continue. So the account type one is equity share capital is how much. You enter the opening balance. It's 100 million. As of still the opening date, you must remember to always change this date. The opening date is 1st Jan 2025. And we advise you to use the calendar for QuickBooks. Do not put this manually. So I press OK, save and new, because I have some other equity type to enter, which is called retained earnings. So retained earnings, I enter, it is 45.623. As of, we have to put the right date, that is Jan 2025. This one, I press OK. Then since I've put all the equity items, I can successfully press save and close. So you can check in your chart of accounts, you realize you have retained earnings as an equity item of 4.6. Then you also have share capital here of 100 million. If you want to even confirm it more, when you go to the reports balance sheet standard, you realize that we are having those equity items right there. Retained earnings of 45.6 and equity of 100 million. So ladies and gentlemen, that is how they enter opening balances in QuickBooks. And if you realize here, where we are headed is the transactions now, the transactions part that we are going to enter. So the company had the following transactions for the first quarter of the year. This year we changed it, it is 2025. So those of you who need this question, please, we shared our, for follow-up, I shared in part 1, I shared how you can reach out to us so that you can get this question for you to follow through. So this is the email where you can request for the question, or even a phone number. This is on WhatsApp. You can WhatsApp us, then you receive this question. So thank you so much. We shall catch you in the part 3, where we are starting on the transactions. We are starting on the transactions, selling, buying, banking, So for now, I can confirm that we are successfully through with entering opening balances. If you have any queries, you can still reach us. Reach out to us on this number, on this WhatsApp number and email. So we shall start from transactions like banking, selling, purchasing, transfers, then auto-generate reports, and then we shall be through with our course of QuickBooks. If you like what we are doing, you can kindly give us a subscription by pressing the subscribe button. Then also you can always like and share with your friends, because you cannot become the custodian of knowledge. Thank you so much, and catch you in the next video as we continue our series on QuickBooks, and good luck in your practice. Thank you.